Hello everybody, welcome back to the sessions on power electronics by Ramana. This is the 23rd session in the series and we are going to discuss the topic of cycloconverters in this session. Cycloconverters. The converters which are named behind how they operate or what they do to convert the given waveform. Okay, before going to that thing elaborately, just we will have a recap of what we have discussed in the previous sessions. We have discussed the topics of inverters broadly and elaborately, the classification of inverters, concept of how inversion is done, single phase inverters, single phase bridge inverters, and particularly we have discussed how the load output voltage and load currents will be when the load is resistive and when the load is inductive. We have also seen other features of the inverters also, but particularly in the syllabus, the concepts which you have to understand and develop was on the single phase bridge inverters with resistive load only. And coming to this session, it is the continuation topic, that is cycloconverters, but actually to say this topic is not a continuation of inverters, it is the continuation of the topic which we have discussed way back in our previous sessions, that is AC voltage controllers or AC voltage regulators. Cycloconverters are nothing but AC to AC converters where the supply is AC and output will also be AC. But what it does then, other than the AC voltage regulation? It changes the number of cycles of the input waveform according to the requirement of the load. And these converters are named after that only, that is why they are called as cycloconverters or cycle converters. So in this session or in the following sessions, rather a big topic, we will be discussing cycloconverters in two sessions. This session mainly we will be discussing the concept of cycloconverters, classification and types of cycloconverters, applications of cycloconverters, basic principle of cycloconverters, and the time permits the construction working of a single phase center tapped cycloconverter with R and RL loads. And we will try to extend our discussion of this single phase center tapped cycloconverter in the next session also. To start with, a cycloconverter is a device which converts input power at a given frequency to output power at a different frequency. As we have just mentioned few minutes back, it converts the number of cycles of the input waveform to an output waveform to have different number of cycles. So when the number of cycles of the waveforms is changed, it is nothing but number of cycles is nothing but frequency, or frequency will be changed. That is, a cycloconverter is a converter which converts the given frequency in the input side to an output signal at a different frequency. In this, normal definition is given where it is said as it converts input power at a given frequency to output power at a different frequency. But the thing is, you can also change the power to some extent, at least limited. So it will be proper to say the definition as this is the definition of given most of the times. But strictly speaking, we have to say it as a cycloconverter is a device which converts the input waveform having a given frequency into an output waveform to have a different frequency, and this frequency of the output waveform can be more than the input frequency or less than the input frequency. So, cycloconverter is used to convert the constant input frequency into a variable output frequency. Constant input frequency means unless other specified, when a particular AC source is taken, the frequency of that particular frequency of the voltage and currents supplied by that source will be constant at a given frequency. For our country, it is 50 Hz. Normally, whatever AC, single phase or three phase AC we generate and transmit and distribute and consume, it will be having 50 Hz. So, the frequency of the input or source is fixed, 50 Hz frequency. Now it will be converted into a frequency which may be more than the input frequency, that is 50 Hz, or less than the input frequency according to the requirements of the load. So, cycloconverter is used to convert the constant input frequency into a variable output frequency. Conversion will be simpler. What conversion? Conversion of the frequency will be simpler if the output frequency is an integer multiple of the input frequency. Integer multiple means the ratio between the output frequency to input frequency should be a whole number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like. Is consider again our case to have the AC source with frequency 50 Hz. Then if you want to increase the frequency, conversion becomes simpler if the output frequency is the integer multiples of 50 Hz, that is 50 into 2, 50 into 3, like that is 100 Hz, 150 Hz or 200 Hz, like that. Or if you want to decrease the frequency, again integer multiple means 50 by 2, that is 25 Hz, 50 by 3, that is 16 1/3 Hz, likewise. If the ratio of the output frequency to input frequency is a fraction of a whole number, like 1.1, 1.2 or 3.6, like that, then the conversion becomes complex. It can be done, it becomes complex, but harmonics will be there, lot of filtering equipments have to be employed, it becomes difficult, but it can be done. And how all these things are achieved in case of cycloconverters? Obviously, we will be dealing with turning on and off of these cycloconverters at a frequency below 50 Hz or above 50 Hz or even hundreds of Hz, which demands us to forcefully turn on and turn off the given power electronic devices, which is not easier, which can be achieved by proper programming with microcontrollers or microprocessors. That is how the conversion of the frequency has been developed only after the invention of or the development of the cycloconverters became fast when the programmable logic controllers PLCs or programmable chips came into picture, that is microprocessors or microcontrollers. And again, during this conversion we don't need to have any other extra intermediary circuits like conversion from AC to DC and back again to DC to AC. The conversion is simply from AC to AC. So the circuit complexity is less even though operation is complex. And added to the frequency conversion, it can also change the output voltage magnitude. Apart from the frequency, the output voltage can also be varied by employing simple phase control technique which we have discussed in the previous sessions. That is, phase control technique means by changing the firing angle alpha or by changing the conduction period of the switching device. If the conduction period is more voltage will be there. If conduction period is less voltage is there. So this is the background of cycloconverters. As it means, it is used mainly to convert the input frequency to a different output frequency. It is called cycle converter or cycloconverter. And its operation will be simpler if the output frequency is an integer multiple of the input frequency. Added to the frequency change, it can also change the output voltage. Then what is the need of AC voltage controllers? Why can't the cycloconverter itself can be used as both, that is frequency converter and voltage converter? It can be done, it is done, but it is not very much useful when it is used to control only the output voltage. By designing a circuit with higher complexity, but if you want to use for only one feature, then it will be a waste. A simple voltage controller can suffice the action. So the classification of cycloconverters, to continue with what we have discussed, that is the increase of frequency, decrease of frequency, like the cycloconverters are classified based on different constraints, like based on the output frequency, based on the operation, based on how it is operated. Based on the output frequency, it is broadly classified into two types, that is step up cycloconverters and step down cycloconverters. Step up, as the name indicates, which we know the same term with respect to transformers, where the output voltage will be more than the input voltage. Likewise, output frequency FO will be greater than the input frequency Fi. It can be also be called as Fs, that is source frequency. So when F0 is greater than Fi, it is step up cycloconverter. And if F0, the output frequency, is less than the input frequency, it is called as step down cycloconverters. Mostly we will be following step down cycloconverters, and broad development has been achieved in this case of step down cycloconverters, which are further divided into three types, mainly on the nature of the phases or nature of the supply side and output side. If the step down cycloconverters are simple single phase to single phase, that is supply is single phase, output is single phase, they are single phase to single phase cycloconverters. Next, three phase to single phase cycloconverters. Source will be of 3-phase, but output will be only single phase. The third one is 3-phase to 3-phase cycloconverters. And again, these are further divided on the circuit configurations, how they are designed. And most commonly used and the simplest ones are the step down cycloconverters under the category of single phase to single phase cycloconverters. The first one is transformer with center tapped configuration, just similar to what we discussed for the case of rectifiers and even AC voltage controllers, where a center tapped transformer is used to supply to the load. It is the simplest of the case which we are going to discuss in our sessions. And bridge configuration. Bridge configuration, the same single phase rectifier bridge, half bridge again full bridge, which was used to convert AC into DC, that is rectification, can be used with proper control. But the semi conversion is not advisable for the case of cycloconverters. For the cycloconverters, we will be dealing with fully controlled converters only. Fully controlled converters means all the power electronic switches, maybe ACRs or MOSFETs or other transistors which we are going to discuss, those cycloconverters will be consisting of only controllable devices, fully controlled devices. They are full converters only. Coming to 3-phase and single phase cycloconverters, they will be using bridge configuration only extensively. For both the things, they will be using only bridge configuration. Again, how they are operated, how the switching devices are operated in those cases, they will be 3-pulse and 6-pulse cycloconverters. How the switching devices are operated in a given half cycle or in a given full cycle with 3 pulses or 6 pulses. Unlike the case of rectifiers, we will be dealing with half cycles for a given cycle conversion. So whether 3 pulses are given in a half cycle or 6 pulses are given in a half cycle, that is how we can expand the classification. So 3-phase, when the source is 3-phase, whether it is 3-phase to single phase or 3-phase to 3-phase, bridge configuration is employed. For single phase to single phase, center tapped configuration or bridge configuration both can be employed, but we will be going to discuss the simplest of the cases, that is transformer with center tapped configuration. And next comes the other classification based on the operation. What operation? Based on the operation of different sections of the converter, cycloconverter, that we will discuss just in a few moments. According to how the different sections of the cycloconverters are operated, they are divided into blocking mode of cycloconverters, and the second one is circulating current mode of cycloconverters. Blocking mode and circulating current mode cycloconverters. So this is the classification of the cycloconverters based on the output frequency and based on the operation. So whatever may be the case, whether it is single phase to single phase or 3-phase to single phase, in all the cycloconverters, we can step up or step down the frequency. But as discussed in the previous slide, that the output voltage can also be varied by using phase control technique. The output voltage can also be changed when compared to the input voltage, but the definitions are given only according to the frequency, because the prime use of these converters is to change the frequency but not the voltage. So these definitions are given according to the change in frequency only. Apart from this, for voltage conversion, the simpler circuits of AC voltage controllers or AC voltage regulators can be used. So when only voltage control is needed from the input side to the output side, we will not be using the cycloconverters owing to their complexity. But cycloconverters are used for the speed control of AC motors, particularly where we can control both, that is frequency as well as voltage. So there these cycloconverters find their extensive use, particularly speed control of induction motors. So depending on what we have discussed in the previous slide, what are the things which can be controlled? Depending on those things, the cycloconverters find wide variety of applications in many fields. These are only a few things, but they can be they will find their applications in almost all the things, because our transmission, generation and distribution and consumption, everything is AC basically. In the most recent years, that is, we can say that in last 2 decades, 1.5 or two decades, the technology has been developed to decrease the losses in case of DC motors. And after the invention and after the uh, usage of DC motors of small ratings, for particularly for domestic appliances, came into existence, then the other types of controls have come into picture, particularly DC motor case. After the invention and usage of brushless DC motors, the speed control aspects of DC motors are dominating. But when the before that everything was AC, all the drives were consisting of AC motors only. May they be single phase induction motors or 3-phase induction motors or synchronous motors. For all those things, the cycloconverters were used for frequency control, for speed control by controlling or changing the frequency as well as voltage. So to start with, the main aspect is speed control of high power AC drives, particularly high power. Just note this with striking thing. Speed control of high power AC drives. AC drives mainly consist of induction motors, that will be AC drives where speed control is is achieved by changing the voltage, changing the frequency, and the particular feature of speed control of induction motor is the ratio of voltage to frequency, which is called as V by F control also. That is V by F control of induction motors. V, F and V by F ratio control. So as all our AC drives, speed control of high power AC drives can be better achieved by cycloconverters. Next, it finds its applications wherever AC equipment are there, where you want to change the frequency and also to change the power. When frequency is changed and also when the voltage is also changed, you can change the output. But again, the thing is, you can only decrease the voltage in the case of cycloconverters. We will be witnessing that in our next discussions. We can only decrease the voltage. but frequency can be increased or decreased. So wherever you need to change the frequency, high frequency induction heating, static VR generation, electric traction. Again in electric traction, basically 3-phase induction motors employed with slip ring type of induction motors. Nowadays electric traction with 3-phase squirrel cage induction motors is also used, but it will be better with slip ring induction motors, where you can change the frequency from the rotor side also. In case of squirrel cage induction motors for electric traction, we cannot change the frequency from the rotor side, only the supply frequency can be changed. In case of slip ring induction motors, you can change the supply frequency and also you can change the rotor frequency. So wherever you can change the speed or you can control the speed of the given drive or the given load, there you find the applications of cycloconverters. Again in aircraft and shipboard power supplies, ship propulsion drives in sea and under sea, cement mills and rolling mills drives, again which are of high power AC drives and also which require high torque, cement mills and rolling mills. Again they find their applications in washing machines and water pumps when it comes into domestic side. So these are the applications of cycloconverters, where you can achieve the speed control by increasing or decreasing the frequency and decreasing the voltage, and also changing the ratio between the supply frequency and the frequency, that is by changing the ratio, that is V by F control it is called as. So these are the applications of cycloconverters, and most of them will be involved with step down cycloconversion. Now we will discuss the basic principle of operation of cycloconverters. Basic principle of operation of cycloconverters. First we will go through the basic block or block diagram of cycloconverters. This is a cycloconverter which is fed with AC, which can be single phase or 3-phase, and supplying to a given load, again which can be a resistive load or the combination of all passive features, that is RL or RLC. That is, the load can be either resistive or inductive or the combination of inductive and capacitance. And now when we follow the blocks, different blocks given, they are divided into positive group and negative group. And the supply will be given to the load either from the positive group only or from the negative group only, or it can also be a combination of positive group over a given interval and a negative group over a given interval in the same half cycle. That is, again I repeat, the principle of operation of the conversion of cycles, conversion of frequency depend on how we operate different groups of switches connected in the converter, and their operation will be mainly discussed according to a given positive half cycle or negative half cycle, or according to a given half cycle of the AC source or AC signal. That is, we will be controlling the turn on and turn off of the switching devices in a given half cycle, either through positive group only or negative group only, or a combination of positive group as well as negative group. When only positive group is operated in a given half cycle and only negative group is operated in a given half cycle, then it leads to step down operation. Whereas in a given half cycle, both positive group and negative group switches are operated alternately, then it leads to step up operation that we will witness in our discussions. So to start with, the basic principle of operation of cycloconverters is this converter will be designed to consist of two groups of rectifiers. Their basic action is again rectification only. That is, a positive half cycle over a given positive half cycle of the positive supply. The positive half cycle can be allowed as it is. Negative half cycle can be converted into positive half cycle. That is rectification. During the negative half cycle can be allowed as it is, and positive half cycle can be converted into negative half cycle. Again, that is rectification. So that is why it is called as rectifiers. It mainly consists of two groups of rectifiers. One is positive group and the other is negative group, as we have seen in the block diagram. The positive group allows all positive half waves and also converts negative half waves into positive half waves. So when the positive group of the switches are operated, we will be getting only positive half waves as a result. And when the negative group is operated, it allows all negative half waves and all positive half waves are converted into negative half waves. So when the negative group is operated, only the negative half waves are given to the load, or we will be getting only negative half waves. Then by controlling the on and off of the positive and negative groups, the desired output frequency can be achieved. By controlling the on and off of either only the positive group or only the negative group, or a combination of positive and negative group one after the other in synchronization, we can achieve the output frequency. In the first two cases, that is only positive group is operated, then it will be step down. When only negative group is operated, then again it is only step down. But when positive and negative groups are operated one after the other with a combination of altering the half cycles, then it will be step up converter. So that is the basic principle of cycloconverter, where the converter is divided into two halves. Again, these halves can be connected in a bridge configuration or center tapped configuration. By proper turn on and turn off of these converter groups, that is positive groups and negative groups, we can achieve different frequencies in the load output voltage and current. This is the simplest case of the cycloconversion, which is step down. The first waveform in this is the actual source input voltage or input voltage with a given frequency of a full cycle or full time period. Let us, in this particular example, the frequency is given as 20 Hz for the source input. For a full cycle, this frequency is 20 Hz. 20 Hz. Now consider the second waveform where the first half cycle, that is positive half cycles, is allowed as it is, and the negative half cycle, the next half cycle, that is negative half cycle, is converted into positive half cycle. So the load is getting only positive voltage all over this time period. And next, during the other cycle of the source or input, the positive half cycle is converted into negative half cycle, and the negative half cycle is allowed as it is, as a negative half cycle. So over two full cycles of the input wave, load is getting only one full cycle comprising of two positive half cycles and two negative half cycles, or this is the full cycle of the wave. Now the time period has been increased, or frequency will be decreased, or simply we can say that because of the symmetricity and periodicity of the waves or half cycles, we can say that in this case the frequency has been decreased and it has become half of the input frequency. Input frequency is 20 Hz, so the frequency of the load voltage is now only 10 Hz. So the frequency is stepped down from the source to load. It has become half. In the other case, we can simply witness that the continuous two full cycles of the source have been converted into positive half cycles. Both positive half cycles are allowed as it is, and both negative cycles are converted into positive half cycles. So load is getting 4 positive half cycles continuously over the entire time of the full cycles of the source, and again during the next two full cycles of the source wave, load will be getting negative half cycles, which results in reduced frequency across the load. Now we can easily understand that when compared to the first case, in this case frequency has been reduced further. It has become half of the first case. First case itself is the half of the actual source case, that is, first case is output frequency is 1/2 of the input frequency, whereas the second case is 1/4 of the input frequency. If we take the example as the source to have, we have taken the 20 Hz for the sake of understanding with these frequency intervals. If the input is having 50 Hz frequency, then in the first case the output will be having half of the source frequency, that is 25 Hz, and the second case will be having output frequency as 1/4, that is 12.5 Hz or 12.5 Hz as the output frequency. So this is how step down is achieved in case of cycloconversions, by simply operating positive group and negative group. in the both in first case and second case where positive half cycles are only allowed, that is during this period only positive group will be operated. Only positive group will be operated to allow the source to the load. Whereas during the negative half cycles, to achieve the negative half cycles through the load, only a negative group is operated. Only negative group is operated. So when you operate either positive group or negative group separately in case of cycloconverters, you will achieve only step down cycle conversion, or frequency can only be decreased. This is another example of the same thing we have discussed, but with the extra feature of voltage control. Voltage control. The case A shows the source voltage, which is the normal sinusoidal voltage, and the case B is shown of this second case, that is where the frequency has become 1/4 of the supply frequency. 1/4 of the supply frequency, where load is getting 4 positive half cycles and 4 negative half cycles, one after the other. And the average load voltage fed is shown with the dotted lines. Average output voltage per pulse. This is shown with dotted lines, where all the switching devices are turned on and turned off due to natural commutation or line commutation at exact zeros. That is, firing angle alpha is 0. Firing angle alpha is 0. Full half cycles are allowed to enter the load. In the case C is shown, where now we have some value for alpha, that is firing angle alpha is 60 degrees. So though load is getting all the positive half cycles as shown in the case B, the magnitude of the voltage entering will be different, as full half cycles are not allowed to enter the load. During alpha, though the voltage, source voltage is on, load will not be getting the voltage, full voltage. Load will be getting a reduced voltage. So average load voltage decreases when compared to the case B in this case. Likewise, if you further vary the alpha either more than 60 degrees or even less than 60 degrees, this is how it can be achieved. In this case D, just examine that the first half cycle is having alpha more than 0. Again, next to 2 half cycles, full half cycles are fed, so the average load voltage is increased. And again in the fourth half cycle, alpha or switching devices are turned on at a given angle alpha, so again average load voltage decreases during this past half cycle, and the net average load voltage will be again less than when compared to V0. That is how voltage control is achieved. And we can understand that we can only step down the voltage, but we cannot step up the voltage in either case. So step down cycloconverters will decrease the frequency, as well as they can be used to decrease the output voltage also. But we cannot increase the voltage in any case. And this is the case of step up cycloconverters, where the output will be having a frequency more than the source voltage. In this slide are shown two waveforms related to input voltage and output voltage. The normal sinusoidal supply having flowing from 0 to 2 pi. And when you examine the load voltage, if we allow the source voltage to appear across the load as it is, it will be shown with green dotted lines like this. Or if you want to rectify, it can follow the other case also. But take the simplest of case, the first case, where when we compare the source voltage and load voltage in a given half cycle, that is positive half cycle of the source voltage, load voltage waveform is shown with this red line, and it is comprising of two full cycles. Load voltage waveform is comprising one full cycle from 0, T1 and T2. It is starting from 0 to T1, positive half cycle, from T1 to T2 full negative half cycle. So full cycle is from 0 to T2, and again it comprises of another full cycle from T2 to 2 pi. T2 to 2 pi. So when the input waveform completes one half cycle, the output waveform or load waveform is completing two full cycles. Because of this, the output frequency is doubled. The output frequency is doubled. That is how step up cycloconversion is done. But to achieve this increase in frequency, we have to operate positive and negative groups alternately. Just you can imagine that for achieving the half cycle from 0 to 0 to T1, positive group is operated. From T1 to T2, that is to achieve the negative half cycle, the negative group is achieved. So step up cycloconversion can be achieved only by operating positive group and a negative group alternately in a given half cycle of the source voltage. And again in this also you can control the voltage or change the voltage by changing the firing angle. So in step up cycloconverters also the voltage will be stepped down only, but you cannot increase the voltage. So this is the basic principle of operation of cycloconverters, wherein you can achieve by controlling the operation of positive group and negative group of switches employed in the cycloconverter to have lesser frequency or higher frequency at the load side with lesser voltages. We will be continuing our discussion in the next session to understand the working of the same cycloconverters with a center tapped configuration. Thank you.